And y'all have probably seen it. AOC calls out Capitol Police after troll calls her big booty Latina on the Hill steps. So that was it. That was you who called her your favorite big booty Latina, and you were very happy and smiling and saying you loved her and all that stuff. She got mad, and so I'll just clarify right away. I knew that AOC made the statement about Capitol Police and the insurrection implying it was an inside job, that there were police inside opening the doors. I just didn't realize that she was making a point about you specifically. And so I will walk back my statement. What I said earlier today was that, for one, I think your culture jamming is fantastic. We've talked about how we want to do culture jamming more as a marketing tool and also to affect change, and that you've done a particularly good job of that. I don't think that calling AOC a big booty Latina solved or did anything. I was wrong. It actually got her to come out and issue a prominent statement that January 6th was that police officers in the building opened the door. That would not have happened were it not for something to me seemed completely inane. And here we are. I'm flabbergasted.
And you should be. And it is completely inane. And let me tell you something. I am mentally insane. Like I said, I call myself primetime because I am insane. And this is the thing, though, Tim. Even though I am an imbecile and an idiot, I want to say that I actually planned this. I talked about this earlier. AOC constantly says that she's a victim of sexualization. She says that people on the right do not like her because they want to date her. There was a picture of her boyfriend, now fiance, in Miami with his feet. And everybody said, "Ooh, look at her gross feet." And she, of course, my point being is, for her, it's all about like image and looks, and that's why people don't like her. So my thought was, if I run into Ilhan Omar, I'm going to say, "I think you married your brother." Is that what happened? I had stuff, for each congresswoman of the squad, but for AOC, I said, instead of, like, I called out Adam Kinzinger and I called him, a traitor and a D-bag. But my point being is, when you call people out and you're kind of like aggressive, that doesn't work. That's not culture jamming. That's you're like being rude. So in my mind, I said, you know what? I'm going to give AOC what she wants. I'm going to bait her and I'm going to sexualize her. And actually, I called this on Sarah Gonzalez's show on The Blaze before. I said I'm going to call her Big Booty Latina, but I did it on purpose. So the reason why, I thought I would go to city council meetings at the very beginning, of the COVID pandemic, and I would talk seriously, and they wouldn't pay attention. They would look at me like I was an idiot, like a conspiracy, theorist, which I am, a tinfoil hat wearing. But my point being is, you couldn't evoke a response. And then one of the first meetings is we have Mayor Johnson. He's a nice guy, and I said, they're pushing the vaccine real hard. I said, you should offer free vaccines in the gay neighborhood. You should call it Eric Johnson's Free Johnson & Johnson, because the gay community will love the double entendre. And since you're the first openly gay mayor of Dallas, they'll really love it. He's not. He's married with kids. And he was shook. He was just, his face like a pumpkin. He was just like, what? And that's when I kind of realized, all right, I have to troll these people. And my comedic hero is Andy Kaufman. And what he did brilliantly is he blended the line of reality and fiction so you couldn't tell. So my point being, I was long-winded, with AOC, I said, I'm going to try to get an emotional response by hitting on her, but I want her to think I'm serious. I want her to think I actually like her. And then in her tweet, when I said, "You're a big booty Latina," she actually ended up coming back and trying to take some sort of selfie with me. So she liked the compliments. I did it in front of her fiance, who I totally cussed.
She said, "Let's get a selfie" or something like that.
Yes, that's exactly what she said.
And then she gave a peace sign.
And she did. But yet, the narrative after was that she wanted to deck me, which is obviously provably false.
Well, she tweeted about it and deleted it. Because what was the first thing she tweeted?
Well, she came out, her staffer came out after it happened, because they're like, "Who is this guy?" And they came and took this picture right in front of my face. I said, "I'm Alex Stein. I'm on The Blaze. Here's my business card." I'm not trying to hide. And then, of course, they didn't like that. And then when they figured out who I was, that I'm this right-wing troll, that, and I'll call myself a troll, I'm a goblin, I'm whatever adjective you want to call me, I agree with it. My point being is, when I came out and I admitted who I was, that's when she was triggered. She just couldn't stand it that some right-wing guy, got her, and she didn't want to get got. So, of course, her ego was just totally shattered. So she had to create this new narrative that I said juicy, or that I said ass, which I never said. The video proves that. And my point being in all of this is, I laid out a trap, and I'm not, like I said, I'm an idiot, but I knew I was going to evoke emotional response to him, but I had no idea that it would be this big of a response, that she would make so many Instagram videos, that she'd make a post asking people questions about it, and then
she has to. So I stand corrected. My thought was like, you did this thing, and what was the point? I understand your point now, and in fact, it triggered AOC to call out the police in the Capitol and directly implicate the 1-6 committee investigation, literally saying, "They're not investigating this. I don't feel safe." And wow, you put those pieces together, and I don't think you expected her to indict the 1-6 committee in response to you trolling her on, like, she's notorious for saying people want to date her and things like that.
And that's why I said that, though.
Right. I stand corrected. And so the reason that we're seeing her response is because she has to bury her emotional reaction. She's probably getting a ton of heat from Democrats over what she said about the police in January 6th. And so she's leaning as heavily into the I was harassed thing as possible to dominate news coverage, to shut down the 1-6 conversation.
And she's right. I mean, I did cross the line a little bit. Of course, I hit on her. But at the same time, I was very nice. You know what I mean? I don't care what you say. Yeah, I'm laughing. I'm nice. I'm saying you're a big booty Latina. I think you're sexy. Even though you want to, abort and kill babies, I still love you, And that was my whole point, is I try to actually be nice, because the people on the left, Marjorie Taylor Greene, friend of mine, she's great. She says on the Capitol steps, she'll get harassed. They call her the B word, the C word, all this mean stuff. That doesn't have the same effect. Like, if you start doing that, a politician's going to put their head down and go about their business. But as soon as you try to get them in a trap, you're either nice to them by being, trolling them. That's how we win the culture war, is by evoking a response.
We've been.
What?
I thought Mary was going to say something. I thought you said something. Look at something.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know what culture jamming means.
Okay, so culture jamming is where you take the most absurd parts of our culture and you jam it in people's face to bring awareness, because even people that agree with the mainstream narrative, they don't even know what the mainstream narrative is. Like, one video... Oh, go ahead.
No,
let me just say this. So, like, one thing, Beto O'Rourke's running for governor of Texas, and so one of my buddies, Cassidy Campbell, has a big YouTube channel. I make all kinds of content, but we do a thing where we'll go, like, fake door knocking or really door knocking, and we'll talk about Beto O'Rourke's, like, real thing, how he wants to give, gender reassignment surgery to 7-year-old kids. I mean, even people that are like, as leftist as it gets, they're kind of like, I don't know if a 7-year-old should be on that, So
what are you, transphobic?
Oh, no, I'm actually trans. I'm gender fluid. I'm Alexandria half the time. You'll see. You can pull it up. Me, Alexandria Stein in a bathing suit. Yeah, we should pull it up. But my point being, the culture jamming, it's just exposing the craziest aspects of our culture.
Here's a really good example. James O'Keefe went, I don't know if he personally did, but Veritas, I think it might have been Veritas, or maybe it was actually just James. They went door to door and they asked people if they said, we're a group that supports gun control and we don't like people to having guns, it's dangerous. Do you agree? And they were like, yes, of course. And they said, we would love it if you would put this sign in your lawn saying proud gun-free home. And the people went, no, I'm not doing that. And they're like, well, why not? And like, because you're like inviting people to rob you. And then they go, it sounds like you're saying you need guns. No, I don't want. That is culture jamming. Those kind of stunts that expose and, as you said, like jam it in their face. But it's just like exposing the absurdities of things that are happening.
It's like satire.
So yeah, it's like real. It's activism in a sense. It's making a point. You can go to someone and you can be super liminal. Hey, X, I will tell you thing. We need guns to stay safe. We have those rights, and people are going to argue with you about it. But you go to them and get them to tell you, we will not let people know we don't like guns. That's a secret. And you're like, I wonder about that, right?
So you didn't know that she was going to speak on 1-6 when you did that, but what were you hoping would happen?
Well, I just hope I got a response, just any sort
Anything?
of response. Yeah, I didn't know that she was going to actually take my video and download it and reshare it. She literally screen recorded it and reshared it. I couldn't believe that. It's got millions of hits on her Twitter.
I just got to say, I feel like you slipped on a banana peel but pulled off a perfect backflip from it.
Well, 100%. But
Magical.
but see, that's the thing. It's you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Yes.
So my point being is you have to actually go out there and try this. Like, it could have been a dud, of course, but when you're actually on the grind, and this is for people watching at home, I just want to say you have to go try, and I'm a try hard, for lack of a better word, and it worked. Not every time does it work, but this one was gangbusters.
It made me think of Kavanaugh, who recently had been harassed by people standing outside a restaurant while he was trying to eat a steak. And that was the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, okay. So this is kind of like, I don't know if he's putting it back in someone's, or at least bringing it. The thing about the Kavanaugh thing was it wasn't televised, so there's no video evidence of it. We heard about it under the rug. But she made a statement, Alex, after you did that. Alex, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We should do a talk show.
A&A.
And that people aren't the government's not designed to protect people, and I think that's kind of true. Like that they have, like you were saying, they get harassed often walking up the steps to work. We know where they are. We know where they're centralized, what building they're in. Like that's not secure for people to be making laws that are angering people or could potentially anger a lot of people.
Well, she said that AOC tweeted that we need to make these people uncomfortable. That was exactly her exact words.
Yep.
So that's what I was trying to do. I wanted to make her uncomfortable. Now, I didn't want to cross the line. I didn't want to say like the P word or ass. I didn't say ass, but I wanted to take it to the limit, and that's what I like to do. I like to tiptoe the line of reality and fiction because I wanted her to actually think that I'm attracted to her. And to be honest, AOC's politics are terrible, but she is very attractive. I have to give her that. I'm telling you, she's got a very petite derriere. It's not big and booty. It's actually pretty nice. And
Would you say pert?
Pert, you know.
Oh my gosh, how old are you?
Pert Plus is my shampoo, so I see that word a lot.
I don't agree. I can understand why though. People would say that. To me, I think she's rather horsey.
When she opens her mouth, but when her mouth is closed, she looks
She's
okay.
very cute, yeah. Sure.
I'm not very picky, Tim. I mean, come on, no.
She's got a pulse and she's breathing, right?
Yeah, well, not even that. I'm just saying, she is. She's in good shape. I think she checks a lot of the boxes, and I can see why she actually got in her position. She's 32 years old. She's one of the most popular congresswomen. But she actually, in her Netflix documentary, she basically got casted for that. It's basically almost like a casting call. And so I can see why she got picked, almost like you get picked for a reality show or something. She has the look, she has the, she's articulate, even though what she's saying is, garbage. There's a reason why she's successful, because she actually is easy on the eyes.
What's the Netflix doc? I haven't heard of this yet.
It was Becoming AOC, I believe is the name of it. And it was
Becoming AOC.
Something like that. We Google it real quick. I forget the name, but in that it talks about how, multiple people for her district, submitted for, basically to get the nomination.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Come hang out live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Super Chat will even answer some of your questions. If you want to check out the After Hours Censored Show, go to timcast.com and become a member. We put those up Monday through Thursday at 11 p.m. They're very funny, not very family friendly. We'll love to see you there. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.